going on, Joe?
And I did add the Guard 911 Joel to the meeting today. Don't call me any names. I'm going to call the, what is today's date? June the 8th. Is that right? Is today June the 8th? Sorry. June the 8th Commissioners meeting to order. If you would stand for the pledge and a prayer.
Heavenly Father, bless this meeting, bless this nation, and bless our county, Lord. Watch over us and help this meeting to be conducted as you would see fit. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Excuse me. Have the commissioners had an opportunity to review the minutes from the previous meeting?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Have the commissioners had the opportunity to review the claims?
Make a motion, we accept the claims as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Have the commissioners had the opportunity to review payroll?
Make a motion, we accept the payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. So for reports, we have the coroner's monthly report and for May. This is for May. And the treasurer's monthly report. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we accept the reports as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. And we have a food and beverage claim, which is the county treasurer, from the county treasurer. It's a match for the Okra grant for $3,000. Okra grant is, I believe, for the owner, yes, thank you, owner occupied program that the county is doing, and this is our county match of $3,000. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Penny. It says Corey, but Penny.
Thank you. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about Make My Move, and I know that you've all had dialogue about it with different people, but like Corey has talked with you, and we've had some meetings about it. So just to highlight, of course we know we have a resolution that confirms the dollars that will be able to be spent towards that. And so I just wanted just an overview quickly. You know that Make My Move is an online marketplace that we want to use to attract workers. There have 775,000 unique visits to their site. There are 50,000 active users. What we're looking to do is see if we can relocate people to Henry County, which is what we need, people. We need young people, talented people. We are here to attract up to 20 people, and those will be remote workers, but also we will communicate to businesses in Henry County that if they have someone they're wanting to move from out of state here, it would also be applicable to them. As of now, there are about 40 million remote workers, and so people have a choice where they come to live. And so that's our goal, is to attract people and give them up to a $5,000 incentive to come here. Now I'll go over a few more details. Let's see. So the investment is $220,000 to get this going with the Make My Move Marketplace. If we are able to connect with the state and get our $100,000, that would lower it, and it will be a division between city and county government, which Corey has gotten that approval from city government. And so, let's see, what else do I want to tell you? It began in 2021, so our goal is to create a favorable online presence on the Make My Move Marketplace, and then there will be a board of 5, 3 commissioners' appointments, 2 city appointments, that will put the details into place with the assistance of the folks from Make My Move. So those are the highlights, just for anyone that doesn't know about Make My Move. And I wondered, are there any specific questions that you folks have?
I know when Kenan and myself, the mayor, Rex, you and Corey, did I get it right? All that, we talked about that this potentially could also be utilized for EMS, emergency services, teachers, even county or city government.
Anyone that would meet the criteria that you guys helped set, you or your representatives,
Right.
including city government's representatives as well. And I likely think that Corey's going to have his nose right in all those details to be able to make sure that the workers that apply are somebody that is attractive, that we think would be a good fit in our community.
I think it's a great idea.
It can be controversial a little bit, maybe to taxpayers, but certainly any questions that anyone has, they can reach out to me in our office, or we'll find answers if there's anything anyone else wants to know further. So, is that enough details?
The 220 is the total cost for the county and the city,
Split.
with the potential of getting about 100,000 back from the
100,000.
state.
Up to 100,000, I
With
think.
a
Was it
100
up to 100,000 or exactly 100,000?
It's
It's exactly that,
$100,000 that we anticipate if we get in with them and are able to secure
So it's going to be
that.
anywhere from potentially $60,000
Right.
per county and city up to 120.
Yes.
Each.
So it will
Or
buy down,
110, excuse
it will
me.
buy down your
110.
cost if we're able to get some from the IEDC.
Right.
So that remains to be seen. We have to do the initial plunge, and everyone has to approve it, the resolution, just before we can move forward.
Right. Do you have any questions, Steve?
Well, I just know, talking to Corey, one of the potential hurdles we were going to have with this was finding housing for these people that apply, since we seem to be in a housing shortage in the county.
Right. And we do recognize that, and that hopefully would be a platform for developers. And it's just not one housing addition we need, folks. We need probably several. And not 5 homes either. We need multiple homes,
And I
which
think-
would
right.
cause a ripple effect and maybe vacate some other properties that haven't been on the market yet. So that is a reason why one specific county stayed out, because they're afraid got to have homes to attract people to, and so it's the chicken or the egg.
And I
And
think that's where you start engaging developers as well as
Absolutely.
part of the process too.
So I think it's a
Yeah.
positive thing. I just know that's going to be one of our hurdles that we need to
it's a
accomplish
concern, and
quickly.
it is a valid concern.
And that was a question that came up in our meeting as well.
And that's a question that comes up about every round table we sit around, and we always talk about those types of things. So, that's the end of my discussion. Anything else you guys want to ask?
Anything else you want to ask, Ed? No, I'm good. All right, thank you, Penny.
Thank you.
Chamber, Cindy.
But did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
say, are you going to, you have to do,
It's on the, yes, the resolution
update the
is-
resolution
yes,
to
mhm.
include that? Thank
Yes,
you.
it is on the,
Hi, I'm Cindy Brooks. I'm the Member Benefits with Chamber of Commerce here for Shonda today. One thing that she would like for me to say and just go over is thank you for all the support for the parade and the Veterans Ceremony that we had on Monday last week. It was an amazing turnout, and our community definitely stepped up and helped to celebrate not only the Chamber and Memorial Day, but also the 200 for Henry County. So just appreciate everybody who showed up for that. Something that we do at the Chamber is we have ribbon cuttings for new businesses or expanding businesses here in Henry County. And this past week, we were able to celebrate Clean Slate Brush Control out at Westwood Park. They showed a demonstration of what they do. We would love to have more commissioners come to our ribbon cuttings if you ever have a moment to do that. It was a great celebration for them and a young couple that have saw a dream and a need in our community, and so very excited about the ribbon cuttings that we've had with them. Some things that are coming up and we're still looking for are our Wednesday workshops. This helps out our community, helps out our business, local businesses, small businesses. So if you know somebody that has an amazing talent that would be beneficial for any of our businesses or small businesses, large businesses, we would love to be able to include them in some workshops that are coming up on Wednesdays, the first Wednesdays of the month. So we are currently looking for those. Some of the ones we've had in the past are QuickBooks, QuickBooks Advanced workshops, grant writing, those types of things. That was something that we are currently looking for and being able to offer our members. Our next networking event that we have coming up is the Chamber Cup Challenge Golf Outing. This is being sponsored by Reed Health, and it is July the 18th here in Newcastle at Memorial Park. Lots of new things are going on with this to encourage businesses to get involved, to do networking and sponsorship. So if anyone is interested in that, I do have flyers for that today. So those are the main things right now at the Chamber. Any
So
questions?
how many those participating did you have at the parade floats?
We had over 200 participants in the parade. Had 174 registered, but then we had several come in after there at the end. Horses, more cars, a few floats. So we made it over 200 this year.
Good. I know it was
So,
long.
It was a long parade.
It was a long one.
I guess the longest parade in Indiana got its name really well this last time. So
Exactly. It went well. Thank you
Yes,
very much for
thank
your hard
you.
work. All right.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Is it Frost and Barrett?
We don't have anything, you've gotten all of our handouts.
Oh,
We
we've
don't
got.
have anything more to hand
I will
out.
tell you, last night in Middletown, I was pushing the knockout competition. Yeah. Every person.
Thank
So,
you.
yes.
Well, everyone can play now.
Yes.
Well, we're just going to talk a little about, we're fairly far along. We're past our first week, and we want to kind of thank some of the people and things, we think things have went well. Kind of
Yeah.
pat ourselves on the back
We're
a little bit.
biased, but we think
Yeah.
they've gone really well.
Yeah, the donut hole eating contest went great. We weren't greatly affiliated with that. That was more Carrie's thing, but she did a great job with Main Street and Jack's Donuts and Lee Markham and Dave Nance. That was a huge success. Was it 1,000 more people?
It was packed.
It seemed
Yeah.
that way, yeah. There were people there that I didn't know were there, so.
The belt looked good, too.
The belt, I'm surprised Lee gave that belt up.
Yeah.
There you go. Then we had the worship service down at the Arts Park. That went over really well. That was organized mainly by...
That was really well attended as
Yes,
well.
we appreciate
Yeah.
everybody that went to that. Rod Smith organized that with Sam Frost and Eric Bowman were some of the bigger workers in that. But all churches that got involved, that was, they hope to maybe do that annually. Next year it'd be the 201st birthday. I mean, why not have cake again and
Yeah.
do it again? The time capsule was a big success as far as the event and digging it up. What we found was a little,
Wah, wah.
Well, you learn what not to do for the next one. There was stuff in it.
There was stuff.
There was stuff in it.
Scott thought maybe that was the year they invented paper.
we don't know, a lot of paper.
A lot of
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah,
Well, we've had several people say, why didn't they put it in Ziploc bags? That wasn't invented then.
A few things were in bags, but obviously the plates, the coins, they were fine.
Yeah.
We want to thank Betsy Mills and Aaron Dickens for organizing that, and the mayor for getting involved with the digging, and everyone who dug, which, Steve, thank you for digging, and Bobby, thank you for...
I attempted, but the mayor wouldn't let me get down there. I don't know if he thought I was going to get hurt or what.
There you go. Bobby, you were part of the speakers, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, appreciate it.
But that was a fun event, and the torch run, we'll talk about it.
Well, yeah, the torch run was very successful, and I think, Bobby, you and I talked, you said you watched it from your porch.
Yes, I did. I was out there, yes,
Yeah,
at
it was
6:30
really-
in the morning.
6:30 in the morning. It was really a neat event, and a big thanks goes to Nate Lamar, who really worked hard on that and rolled in right at 6 p.m. So that was
Yeah.
impressive to me because that was wrangling 37 runners.
Yes, over about 60 miles,
Yeah.
13 townships, so...
And we have to thank the sheriff's department and the EMS because you guys
Yes.
drove 2 miles an hour or something like that all day
All
long.
day long.
And we appreciate it. And 6 miles.
6 miles.
And I think the only person they had to take care of was Nate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you very much. So we couldn't have done it without you, and it made it a big event if you have, lights going on. So we're very appreciative.
and thank the library for
Yes.
use of their bookmobile. That was a perfect vehicle. It was a good plug for them.
Oh,
It was
exactly.
inside, and
Yep.
it was ideal. So what's coming up this week? We're gonna,
We don't even know. Last
Ice
night there
cream
was a
social
big-
Saturday.
Ice cream social on Saturday. Yes.
that's the big thing, Ice Cream Social at the Historical Society. So there's gonna be presentations by Kevin Stone Rock.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And ice cream, obviously, and tours through the museum, and we'll be selling our coin, and Daryl Radford's book is out. So we'll get a chance to buy it. if
And
you'd
that
like.
starts at 11, right?
11.
But it's all day. It's an open house all day, so feel free to go.
And then this Thursday or tomorrow nights are one of our talk in our series at the library on Wilbur Wright. So that's coming up. But then there's weeks, and it's 3 or 4 more weeks of stuff going on, and then stuff all the rest of the year, every now and then, so including our golf tournament, which we moved to September.
So thanks so much.
So on this next time capsule, I know it's all going to be different. It's all going to be
In Ziploc bags.
better. Better sealed. The vault will be better sealed. The container will be better sealed. Are you going to be making any type of recommendations for people who want to put things in? Make sure they have it in some sort of a sealed bag, vacuum sealed bag, Ziploc bag, glass, metal.
I don't think there'll be walk-up like there was last time, people just dropping things in the day of, so I think it has to be ahead of time. So I
Right.
think Aaron and Betsy will tie that down a little more as far as when they need and where the stuff needs to be, and then
Yeah.
possibility of a metal box instead of a wooden box would be more ideal, something that would hold up.
Not wick moisture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
the-
I think the vault's going to be a top seal vault this time, the way the mayor was talking.
I think so. Can we say that we've lost control of that? We've lost all control of what's happening, and the mayor and Wimmer, I think, are sort of
Oh, okay.
working on best practices for that. Is that fair
Yeah.
to say, Scott? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we don't know when,
That's all right.
but I think Wimmer.
Let's see, is there anybody in this room that in 50 years will be here?
No, looking for young people.
It'll be their problem, not ours.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, they made it they put in their book for the committee in 2022, right? You guys deal with it. So. And we just want to continue to thank Henry Community Health, who's been our overall sponsor. And we're just thrilled that June's almost over. No, but please sign up for Knockout, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
If anybody in this room has not signed up for Knockout, I suggest that you do. I mean, you'll be part of a world record, potential
Yes,
world
world
record event. You don't have to be good. I signed up. I'm not good. I'm
Thank
just going to throw a basketball at the hoop.
Yes, we appreciate
Matter
that.
of fact,
Thank
this
you.
afternoon, we're going to have a dry run with some kids.
Yes, if it goes in, I have to go to the end of the line, right?
Yeah.
The odds of that happening,
Slim.
slim to none.
Thank you, and thank you for
Do
letting
you
us.
have an idea how many people have signed up so far for that?
We're almost to 200.
Yeah,
So that's-
and we're starting a push with the help of these two and their organizations to try to get companies to kind of challenge each other
Oh,
and get a
yeah.
group of
How
10
many?
from somewhere and
Yeah.
20 from another, and
How many can you bring? And maybe
Right.
it'll be some sort of a competition.
Well, it's being pushed at the Middletown Fair, just so you know.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
All right,
you.
thank
Good
you.
luck with it.
thank you.
Joe Copeland. you want to talk about the culverts at this point? Jeff's not here, is he? So I don't know if we'll get our... So we received a email from Jeff Ray that says Healthy Communities of Henry County is asking for approval for Joe Copeland to order culverts for drainage areas on the Wilbur Wright Trail northeast of Messick and Moreland. At a previous commissioners meeting, Joel told me he would order the requested culverts if approved by the commissioners. Healthy Communities has the funding to pay for the cost of the culverts. And he attached where Wilbur Wright Trail received $1.3 million, or they received $1.3 million for the Wilbur Wright Trail. It's a Next Levels grant. So a couple questions that I had, and I don't know if you can answer these at all. So I'm assuming as part of the bid process of this construction of the trail, that they would have included the cost of the culverts in that bid process, or would you have any knowledge of that?
That's the same question I had. I don't know.
Okay. So we'll
I
need
know
to-
we have most of those culverts, if not all of them, in stock. The 48-inch he wants, we don't have a 30-foot, it's a little longer. When you increase the size of the culvert, you need more length, so that's why we buy them a little longer. So, but we have them in stock, so, but to get them, it'd take 30 days or better. We have to order them through Missouri. There's a company in Missouri.
Okay. And the next question is a Jeff question as well, so I'll just hold off and wait to ask him, because I don't know if if this is permissible through the Next Level grants, if they can just come to the highway department and pay them direct, or if there's something within the grant that would have a different requirement.
There was a question brought up by Steve Rust. One of the locations has a regulated drain underneath the culvert in question. I'm not sure if it's the 48-inch. I probably is, but Steve was talking about doing some work on that regulated drain and maybe replacing that some section through there, and they don't want to go in and replace that culvert prior to that regulated drain construction. I thought, they'd do it just after or during or something, because that could be a future problem, because they'll have to contend with it if they replace the culvert and the drain is right below it.
So I had that conversation also, and I think that it's a waste of time and money if we go in and put in the culvert and have to tear it all back up to fix the county drain. I think it needs to be coordinated between the two before it's authorized to be done. So that's just my thought. I think we should wait till the county drain's been fixed, and it may be several months before we can get it done, but I think it should be coordinated instead of wasting time and money. And I don't know if he's planning on blacktopping that part of the trail. And if you have to tear that all back out, then
I don't know if it's going to be a asphalt trail or whether it's going to be a stone.
I have no idea at this point, but I just hate to see him spend all that time, money, and work, and then
Correct.
we have to dig it all back up in order to fix our county drain. So
Yeah, it's a waste of
Is the
money.
drain scheduled to be repaired?
sometimes within the next 6 months to a year was what I was told. It's on the schedule to be done.
Yes.
So that's, it's not like we're delaying anything for a long period, but I just think it's a waste of time and money if we go ahead and start replacing culverts right this minute.
Well, and I
something needs to
think
be
these
coordinated.
questions also need to be answered as whether it's allowable with the grant and if it was bid out in the construction process.
I was thinking it needs to be better coordinated between
Yeah,
the surveyor's office with Healthy Community or Trails, whatever, and have them do that with them and coordinate that together. At least that's my thought.
Yes, I agree.
So do I have a motion?
If we allow them to purchase the culverts, does that mean they're going to go ahead and start putting them in, or they're just buying the culverts so they have
Well,
them?
I think that
Joe's-
whether to move forward or to table, or,
I guess that's my question. I don't mind, them getting the culverts, as long as they don't go ahead and just say they got them, we're going to go ahead and put them in.
well, but there's the other two. I'm just going to go ahead and make the motion to table this until we have the answers to the Next Level grants and the construction bidding process, if that was included.
Okay.
I would second that motion.
So motion by myself, second by Commissioner Dellinger, All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Let's see. Sheriff? Okay. Debbie? Joe's already talked. Don, I have you somewhere else on here. Rita? Memorial Park?
I just want to remind everybody, on the 18th, we have Bark at the Park, and on the 19th, we will be having a fishing derby for all ages, little kids and everybody.
Thank you. Henry County EMS? Mandy, Lucas? Come on down, Lucas.
We're just here to give you an update. It's been a while. So if you haven't seen our new truck, it's here. It's licensed, insured. Graphics are done. We did follow the bicentennial run on Saturday. That was its maiden voyage. So Nate has the privilege of being the first ever patient treated in our brand new ambulance. That didn't make him laugh as much as you would think.
We'll do this. Show it out so everybody can
She's
see.
pretty. She ran great. She did
pretty.
great. She's got very loud sirens, very loud. So that's here. We are interviewing some just recently graduated high school students from Bill Hefford's class, so we're continuing that. We've got 4 right now. 1 we've hired as an EMR. He is a few days away from taking his EMT test. We'll try to get the other 3 hired just to keep transition and feeding all the services here. We're continuing that even if no one else is continuing that. We are. And then the latest thing that we have is, I believe the last commissioners meeting, we asked for permission to apply for the bariatric grant through the Medicaid funding. We did receive word that we won that grant. It's unclear the amount, if it'll be for 1 or 2 trucks. And we don't have to accept it because there's still no more information now than there was when I applied. I applied with every condition that I could think of, thinking they would turn us down. That we couldn't meet their timeline, chassis are not available, you can't build a truck that fast, we'll still only go to and from Henry County, and they still approved us, so. I tried to put everything in there that might, so we'll wait for stipulations and see what comes down. I'll have ask Joel to take a look at them when that comes in, and then we'll decide if we want to accept it.
2 bariatric ambulances?
We don't know.
You don't know?
It just says you won the grant. We just don't, and it's the actual amount of funding hasn't come out yet.
Now, is that fully equipped, or will we have to get the
It is a certain dollar amount.
certain dollar amount?
So this is, again, a lot of the questions that Joel and I tried to find answers to and couldn't.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for a very long list of all the criteria you have to meet before we even consider accepting it, so.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you. Bill Epchurch. I'm just going to read what you sent us today. So Bill sent us the property tax collected so far in the spring and compared it to 2019, 2020, and 2021. We have collected so far $25,786,541.83. Last year, we collected at this time $23 million, a little over $23.5 million. In 2020, it was a little over $21 million, and in 2019, it was $22 million. So we are collecting, people are paying on time, and that's good. Thank you guys and your office for all the, it's not easy at tax time. So thank you very much. Angela's not here, Stacy's not here, Joe. Tom, do you have anything? Nothing? Okay. On to new business. Oh, did I miss something? Oh, I've got him later on in the, yeah, later on in the, no, you're fine. I think my, oh, did I move forward too far? I'm looking for the quitclaim deed for Van Nuys Road. What tab is that under? Do we know? Hang on a second. I don't see it in here. Well, we'll talk about the quitclaim deed. Joe, do you want to talk about the quitclaim deed for the Van Nuys Road? I don't seem to have a copy of it in my book. But I know, Joel, you have prepared it and
When the county acquired the property for the new jail, the road that went through there, part of it was owned by DNR, and part of it was owned by the state. And then exactly who owned it, I wasn't quite sure. But anyway, that section of roadway, my understanding, the deal was that the county would take over ownership, and there's a bridge over Big Blue there too also. So I needed a legal description from 50 over to Big Blue because the prison wanted the sanitary sewers left out of the right-of-way. They didn't want those their sanitary in our right-of-way. So I had a legal description put together by SJCA that made it so that we have the road, but we don't have the sanitary sewers in there. And then the area from Big Blue over to 103 then was a kind of a sketch, I call it more, when DNR took it over. So we're using the same sketch for that section from Big Blue over to 103, but the other is a good legal description of the roadway and the right-of-way for that. So we need a legal document to be able to take that over, and then I'm going to have to add that to our inventory before the end of the year. And once all that's done and recorded, then I can send it to the state and ask them to take it into our inventory. Okay. One question I did have, it's now called Van Nuys Road. And of course, the section in front of the jail has been changed, that name.
Ron Lampy Way.
Do we want to call it 200 North, like from Big Blue over to 103, or how do you want to handle that? Since it's now our possession of the county.
I think it's been because the numbers had to change because 1003 Van Nuys Road, which is what we were using for the new jail, was actually Community Corrections. So the address had to change at the jail, and it's now 1033 Ron Lampy Way.
Okay.
Is the address of the new jail.
Okay, I'm assuming the prison is...
It's still Van Nuys Road.
Okay, so we just leave that.
Yeah, the prison is still Van Nuys Road.
All right, do you want to call the area from Big Blue over to 103 Van Nuys or 200 North? Or extend... Is that okay? That's what we'll do. There's no addresses that I know of on that.
No, there is not. The jail is the only one.
So, yeah, so that wouldn't be a problem. So that's what we'll do. We'll get a road name sign up there.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, well, I'll get another sign made up so that we'll have it ready, all right? So.
Thank you.
Okay. And so as soon as we can get it recorded, the state will sign it, and we get it recorded, we'll be ready to go, all right?
Getting state to sign it might be a bit.
How many
do we need, do we need a motion to accept that? Okay. Okay.
Begin the process of trying to get somebody at the state to sign.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the form for the quitclaim deed?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0.
If you have trouble getting the right people to get the signatures, Mr. Orm, right, with the prison, he can move miracles. That guy, I don't know, he can get things done. So if you're having trouble, we can contact, the sheriff or I can contact him and see if we can get that moving, okay? All right, thank you.
Like last month, we have a few letters from DNR that there are no historic buildings at specific addresses. One is 1409 Illinois Street, 728 21st Street, 449 North 12th Street, and 868 South Country Club Road. And one more, 1414 B Avenue. So do I have a motion to accept these reports or letters?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. So we have a notice of the Planning Commission Case B 2253. Do you want to talk about that at all? Okay. Okay, so the purpose of this letter is to notify you that the Henry County Planning Commission has received a petition from Lowhorn Automotive Group, located at 3940 South State Road 3, Newcastle, Indiana, requesting a commission-approved use to construct and operate an automobile sales facility. The property is owned by Lowhorn Automotive Group, 1811 South Spiceland Pike, Newcastle, Indiana, is located on parcels 007-85122-00 and 007-85123-00 in Henry Township. For the purpose of considering the effect of this request, the Planning Commission will conduct a public hearing to be held in the old courthouse on the second floor at 101 South Main Street, Newcastle, Indiana, 47362 at 5 p.m. on Thursday, June 16th. Interested persons desiring to present their views upon the proposed request will be given an opportunity to be heard at the above-mentioned time and place. We strongly encourage you to submit your views in writing before the meeting. Please mail the Planning Commission at Henry County Office Building, 1201 Race Street, Suite 210, Newcastle, Indiana, 47362. Email the Planning Commission at tgreen@henrycounty.in.gov or fax the Planning Commission at 765-521-7072. All written correspondence filed with the Planning Commission before the hearing will be considered and will be a part of the hearing record. All information concerning this case is on file in the office of the Planning Commission and can be viewed online at www.henryco.net/planningcom-upcoming-cases.aspx. The hearing may be continued from time to time as may be found necessary. The hearing is open to the public and is not limited to those receiving copies of this notice. For special accommodations needed for disabled individuals planning to attend, contact 765-529-7408 at least 48 hours prior to the meeting to make arrangements. Okay. Thank you, Tom. Don Showalter.
I actually have a couple of things to go over. The Friday before Memorial Day, I was approached by Duke Energy, and they offered me, as far as emergency management goes, a $5,000 grant. So I submitted him some paperwork that day, and he took it back to Duke Energy. I flew out on Tuesday to Nevada for radiation training, and while I was in Nevada, I got an email from Duke Energy Foundation grant that they wanted the paperwork on Tuesday. So I did the paperwork on Tuesday evening, sent it back, and on Wednesday I got approval for the $5,000. I had requested it for Blue River Valley High School because being an SRO out there, my telephone doesn't work, and most of the time my radio doesn't work. I did it for first responders, Sheriff's Department, Fire, EMS, Mount Summit Police Department, Moreland Police Department, so that we have communications inside that school if something were to happen, especially with the way things are with school shootings and that kind of stuff. That grant, I got back the approval. Obviously, I didn't go through the process the proper way. I didn't request permission to do that before I did it, but it was a time-sensitive investment, so I went ahead and did the paperwork and filed the paperwork yesterday. And that grant is approved. They said 30 to 45 days out. Now on top of that, yesterday I submitted my resignation, which had nothing to do with the support that I got. I had fantastic support from everybody. I have accepted a position with Newcastle Career Center, and Vincennes University, which makes me an adjunct professor for the next generation of people coming up. I will be teaching criminal justice. I am also going to the health department part-time as the local planning coordinator, so I'm not leaving altogether. That being said, under Indiana Public Safety Code, the Emergency Management Director is appointed by the Emergency Management Advisory Board. On that board are your commissioners, your council members, your sheriff, members of every emergency service in the county. That includes Newcastle, Newcastle's mayor, president of their council. That includes the township trustees. That includes every town board. So there's approximately 100 people on this board. It's not going to probably be an easy decision for them, so I will try to keep, as best I can, the office running. I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be in the office, but I'll be in the back instead of up front. Making sure the bills are paid, making sure that paperwork is submitted for state and federal government, making sure Debbie gets her grant paperwork for salaries and that kind of stuff. So that's a little bit about that process. That process, once the advisory board determines who they want as the next emergency management director, they submit that to the county commissioners for their approval. Once that's done, that emergency management director can pick and choose whoever they want as a deputy director. Is there any questions on that?
I will say, I hate to see you go, but I'm not going to hold you back from great opportunity. Obviously, we've only worked together for a little over a year and a half, or not even quite a year and a half, but I appreciate all that you have done, and I believe we've all worked well together.
I appreciate the support I've gotten in that office. I've heard, before I took it, all kinds of horror stories and stuff with people butting heads, but I haven't had that problem. If I had a question, I was able to approach you three, ask that question, got a straight answer. If you had questions, you were able to approach me and get a straight answer. I think that's the main thing that's involved in this job, because you can't play politics as emergency management director. That individual has to deal with every town, every township, every city in the whole county. So that was the one thing I was appreciative of. Sheriff gave me support from his point. If I needed anything, I was able to call him or Jay. Same way with Newcastle Police Department. If I needed something, I was able to call Greg, Rex, Matt Schofield, or any of them, Justin. So I never had an issue, even though those horror stories are out there. So I appreciate everything everybody's done for me. I appreciate the help that I got from Debbie and Bobby when it comes to paperwork. They've done a fantastic job helping me, because stepping into this, I had no knowledge of grants whatsoever. So they may have kicked me in the butt a time or two to get paperwork, but I appreciate everything everybody's done.
I appreciate you, Don.
I'd like to thank you also, Don. You did a very good job.
So we're going to, so at the time capsule bicentennial event, Representative Tom Saunders, he was going to be here, but he's under the weather, had and I'm going to stand up, and I don't know if you guys will still be able to hear me, but this flag or banner that was flown at the previous event 50 years ago, and he wanted to donate that to the county. So more than likely the thought, or his thought, is we could have it framed and hung here in the courtroom. So while he presented it to me at the event, we're officially accepting it today. So thank you, Tom Saunders, for all of the history and all of the things that you own that show all of the history of the county. So now we're on to the resolution for the bicentennial. There we go. Okay, so resolution number 2022-06-08-014. Whereas Henry County, Indiana, named in honor of Patriot Patrick Henry, Governor of Virginia, who historically proclaimed, "Give me liberty or give me death," was created from the Delaware New Purchase and officially organized on June 1st, 1822. And whereas the county and paradigm for author Ross Lockridge's Raintree County encompasses 392 square miles and includes the Old National Road, also known as US 40, which is the oldest of the crossroads of America and spans across the entire southern part of the county. And whereas Henry County is rich in history and has had fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters who have served their country in every branch of the armed forces throughout our nation's lifespan, and includes many museums such as the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame dedicated to Indiana high school basketball, the Henry County Historical Society Museum, which is dedicated to its own local history and located in the home of Civil War General William Gross, and a museum located at the birthplace of aviation pioneer Wilbur Wright. Whereas the county's beautiful landscape is evident wherever one turns and is most prevalent in its welcoming parks, lakes, and trails, including the Henry County's Veterans Memorial Park, Summit Lake State Park, and Westwood Park. And whereas the arts are alive and well respected throughout the county with the historic Gyra Opera House and the Art Association of Henry County, and Arts Park being just a few of the focal points in the community that is proud to be the birthplace of the famed love artist Robert Indiana, and the location of two fabled gymnasiums, the home court for the movie Hoosiers, which is located in Nicetown, and the world's largest and finest high school field house located in Newcastle. And whereas Henry County has a rich tradition in both agriculture and manufacturing, and was once the home of the Maxwell Automobile Factory, the Jesse French Piano Company, the Hoosier Manufacturing Company, which was famous for Hoosier cabinets, and the American Beauty Rose, and is currently home of numerous manufacturers, many small independently owned businesses, and an infinite number of upstanding and inspiring citizens. Now therefore it be resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Henry County, Indiana, 1, the month of June 2022 will be the celebration of Henry County's bicentennial, 200 years, and yes, basketball lives here, so does the spirit of Hoosier hospitality, adopted by the Board of Commissioners on this day, June the 8th of 2022. Do I have a motion to accept this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Sorry. Motion made by Commissioner Dellinger, seconded by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. That's recovery funds. So I've added, a couple of other things were added that I don't think, I missed on the real estate for the annex building. I glossed over that one, so let me get back to that one. I apologize for that one. So we have, Joel, I don't have to read all 11 pages, do I?
No, I think it's actually
Yeah. So, send it to McGlory. Okay, so this is the real estate purchase between the county and Mr. McGlory for the annex building. I believe we have all reviewed it. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept the contract and send it on to Mr. McGlory.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tarantino, second by Commissioner Dellinger. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Yes, sir. Well, and that's the next step is we were going to have a meeting with everybody, but it ended up getting canceled last week. We'll set another meeting as to when everybody needs to get their stuff out. I believe in the contract it gives us 90 days post after closing to get everything out and moved, and all the records will be stored over in the, what are we going to call that now? We're going to keep calling that the old jail or the new EMS location? It'll be stored in that building over there. So we'll have 90 days and we'll get that all coordinated. Okay. So this is the resolution amending the Henry County's written plan for the expenditure of the coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds. And we have added, this is, as of today, we have added number 19, which is the sum of up to $110,000 for the creation of the fund for the creation of the fund to support and administer a workforce retention and recruitment program as described in Indiana Code 36-1-29-5-1 in cooperation with the city of Newcastle. So this is the Make My Move program that Penny was speaking of. So do I have a motion to accept this?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Added to, because Joel was able to review this late yesterday afternoon, is the contract for the Guard 911 alert system that ARP money was approved at last meeting for the county buildings. ARP money was approved to pay for the setup fees for each building and the first year of monitoring for each building. Joel, do you have anything to say about the? Fairly standard. Yeah. So do I have a motion, or are there any questions about this contract?
Make the motion, we approve it.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dellinger, second by Commissioner Tarantino. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. I don't know, Joel, that I need to look through here. I don't know that we put the bidding thing for the other two buildings in here. For the annex and the, not the annex, the Hope Building and the EMS building, what we would call those.
You all reviewed those, are comfortable with them, you can approve the forms.
Okay. Have you reviewed? Okay. Have you reviewed those? Have you reviewed that? Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept the forms forwarded to us by Joel and to put the two properties back on the market.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tarantino, second by Commissioner Dellinger. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. And I'll get those. I apologize. I thought I'd put those on the itinerary. Anything else? Anybody else have anything? Yes, sir.
My name is Roger McGinnis. I live in Honey Creek at 6783 North County Road 525 West. It's actually in Honey Creek and got the Middletown address. My house sets north of the Honey Creek Trail that is going through, and there's a road that I tried to close back in '94. It wasn't on the state plat, and I had that property surveyed. and I tried to close that road. They put the road through there was an existing road that went from 700 north back to the old grain elevator that furnished the the Honey Creek elevator there. Well, I get a lot of dust. My house sits right there on along that road, and I've been trying. Well, this is the first time that I've came to the commissioners since '94 trying to, but now that they're putting in that trail, I'm just wondering if maybe there would be coordination in between. I know that the funds for that trail are like a recreation trail, and it's separate from the county.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to see if I could maybe get that blacktop so I cut down on the dust that flies on my house. I'm getting ready to get it painted. Can't sit out on my back porch because of the dust.
And
This
that's on
has been
525, is that what you said, on 525?
Yes, 525 West. My address is at 6783. I'm just right there. I tried to get in touch with Mr. Tarantino last year. You were occupied, so Mr. Dellinger came out. I don't know if he remembers the area, but Spruce Street runs the 700 road, and then it comes, the road that they put in goes on across 525 West and goes on the east side. And that's a low plain, floodplain, and it washes out whenever we get a lot of rain. So that area down there, they don't have any ditch. Back decades ago, it got covered up or whatever from neighbor, but that's beside the point. I'm just wondering if there would be any type of coordination maybe between the trail, the
Honey Creek Trail?
the recreation fund, and maybe the Henry County Commissioners might be able to blacktop that road.
Is the road that you speak of, that you try to get vacated 28 years ago?
Yes.
Is that now part of the trail?
No, it's just north of the trail. The trail is actually the abandoned railroad, which I tried to buy, I tried to buy rights to that, but I was having trouble getting information from the railroad company. They gave me a number to Chicago, and then they gave me another number to Indianapolis, and I just gave up. And then they put that road in, and it's only, I don't know, probably 100 yards from 525 back to the old Farm Bureau building. If I could just get black spray or something, just kind of keep down the dust. This has been ongoing for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I finally came up here to voice my opinion and try to ask for some help. I don't know what else to do. I got 3-wheelers, 4-wheelers. There's no speed limit signs. I have one neighbor that it's like a racetrack. They get coming off of 700, going around that curve, and they get going fast and kicking up the dust. My wife hangs out her clothes, and then the dust flies on them. I don't know if I could. I just came up here to ask if there's anything you gentlemen could do, and lady, ma'am. I'm nervous at this. It's the first
No,
time
you're
I've
fine.
been
You're
in front of.
you're doing very well. You're doing very well. Joe, do you know? I would have to go look at it. I'm not sure of the area, but
I've seen it. I mean, I think we talked about it a year ago, and there was some dust suppression put down, and it needed to be regraded and redone. We just didn't have the money for blacktopping at that point because it is a county road, because that was the first thing was we weren't sure it actually belonged to the county. I don't know if there's anything else we can do at this point.
the road does not belong to the county?
Yes.
It does not.
It does.
It does belong
Yes.
to the county. Okay.
It was unclear where it was,
Oh,
because
I
all
gotcha.
it makes a loop basically around Honey Creek on both sides of 525, and it looked like a horse trail.
I got you.
So it wasn't in very good shape, so I wasn't even sure it belonged to the county. But after Joe and I had checked on it, it is part of the county road, and there was some work done on it last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After I talked to
Yes.
you, they came out and put down gravel, and then, of course, I ate gravel every time they put it down. I don't know. Yeah, that wasn't on the state plat. And whenever the county, I had residents in Honey Creek that petitioned to keep that road open because they felt like for emergency purposes it'd be viable. But my house is at one end, and then the only other building was the Farm Bureau building, and then there's another modular at the other end on 700. So really, to me, it's just money put into it, and I've been dealing with it ever since.
You seemed like you wanted to make a statement or say something.
Yes. Anything would. Anything would help. I mean, and yeah. Well, right now with the trail going in, I don't know what to expect there, but I do have. It's picked up a little bit just because people are interested in what's going on. They're seeing what's transpiring. I can't tell you what type of traffic would be. I know that there's 3-wheelers, 4-wheelers, what kids are there in Honey Creek and around the area. They come through and kind of speed up. And I don't know.
When you guys are up in that area, you'll, okay. Okay.
That would be fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
for
Mr.
listening
McGinnis.
to me.
All right, thank you. Anything else? Anybody else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
Thank you all for coming. Both.